with an Odie, and we're here to launch our new product, pussy product. Cola,
Okay,
go.
fun fact. Did you know that there's a creature out there that can stick his bones out of his body and use it as protection? Guess what animal it is?
It's a Wolverine. I don't know.
It's actually a frog. So the frog has the ability to basically stick his bones out of his skin and use it as like claws. So Wolverine might be a possibility.
Oh, okay. I was just kidding around, but damn, they should have made Wolverine based off the frog, then.
It could be called Bullfrog.
So it's not X-Men, it's X-Frog?
Yeah. That's my fun fact. Who else I got a fun fact?
All right, I got a fun fact.
Fun fact.
So, fun fact, maggot therapy is actually an FDA-approved treatment for ulcers and wounds to promote healing. So basically what they do is they put live maggots where you're injured so that they can eat all the tissue. And they secrete this antimicrobial slime as they're eating it to help heal the wound. So actually using maggots to heal your injury could be considered an approved treatment.
I also have a similar fact. But,
oh, okay.
Yeah. Does it work on herpes sores? I'm asking for a friend.
I don't know if it'll work for that. It has to be like a wound. I don't know if herpes counts as a wound. It's more like just like a wart or an infection.
Well, like that episode of Family Guy, where Dewey got herpes, and
what?
He was in a job interview, and they're just like, "What's your biggest weakness?" And then the sword just pops on the guy's face. He's like, "That's my biggest weakness."
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, maggots would help there.
Yeah, what about maggots?
Maggots would help there.
Yeah, maggots would help there. Once you pop that sore, and it's all like pus and dead skin in there and whatnot, you can have maggots eat that.
Have you guys known anyone with an STD?
No.
No, thankfully.
It makes it it makes it a very awkward interaction.
Oh, so you know a few people.
People I wouldn't want to share things with.
Oh no.
You want some pigment? No, I'm good. No, I'm good, sir.
You want some cheese? No.
You want some of these? You want these clothes? I'm like,
gross.
Yeah. It's a personal thing. Relatively humbled that someone would care enough to share their personal deep dark secrets with me. It's also just like honestly, I feel like it does alter it undoubtedly alters your perception of them, just because you kind of have to play it safe in a way, because it's just like it's a way of managing it. Really, it's just like the best way to manage it is like communicate about that shit. It's just like, I don't have to. I'd rather know when I have to be cautious, but can still be a friend, because that shit would suck if like they had it, and then you're just like, oh, let me get some of that water, man. Like I'm hella thirsty, and then next thing you know,
Now you got herpes.
Speaking of herpes and maggots,
nobody ever drink water that Walker's been drinking. Oh, I'm just kidding.
It's all good. I spit in everyone else's cup anyways.
Oh no.
Yeah. So my fun fact is that maggots actually are used to produce some cheese too. And this
Oh,
cheese
yeah.
is produced in Italy and known as an actual delicacy.
Yeah, I've heard of this cheese. It's
Yeah.
illegal like in the
Yeah.
US because there's so much bacteria and like you can
Freaking
actually
food
get worm from it.
gets
Now,
like all over
now,
that shit.
can you get sick from it?
Yeah, you could get sick from it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there's because of the way it's created, there's not a lot of regulation on the product. It's like literally, it's like equivalent to shit that you can find in the dirt. So it's like, you know, like how do you create a regulation around that? It's just like just scrape off the top part and just eat the rest. But yeah, kind of ruins your innocence, doesn't it? Speaking
Yes,
of
yes, it does.
ruining innocence, today's topic is the idea of when you lost your innocence, or when did you know your innocence was gone. This topic was given by Ola, and I'm gonna need some elaboration on this.
You know, I think so my example was like I knew I lost my innocence when I saw somebody get shot. So for me, like when I lost my innocence was when the first time I saw somebody get shot.
Dang.
I was
Were you on the
forget it.
street? How
I
old were
was
you?
on the street. I think I was like 10 years old. I think it was a drug deal that gone wrong, but I saw the guy running and then the other guy just shoot him point blank. Boom, boom. And then he like once the guy was down, he went over and just made sure that he was it. And then 2 shots in a row and then walked right off. And then I ran right back in the house. I'm like, I said nothing.
This is in front of your house.
No, I was in the playground.
Oh shit.
Okay.
You live in like a tough neighborhood, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, uh, it's like you just run back to the playground and shit, and then the guy looks at you and you just on the swings and you just start swinging faster like like nothing happened.
Oh, the crazy thing, I knew the guy too, so it's not like,
You're
it's
the
not
guy
like,
that
Also
shot
10 years old.
yeah, I knew the guy.
the other guy. Dang.
Yeah,
You didn't snitch. You're not like that.
no,
Because he knows where you live.
because
Why?
well, the thing is like I mean, he obviously knew that I did it, but I didn't say anything. But yeah,
Because
that
if you
happened.
snitch, you're next on that hit list.
Yeah, and I went to
10-year-old
school with
boy.
his kids and stuff like that. So it's like, it was crazy. Crazy. I didn't say shit. I was like,
10-year-old kid snitched on him.
but yeah, anyways, I think after that experience, like, I tell all the time, and like, people don't believe me sometimes, but it happened.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, I remember when I saw like I was walking home from high school and I saw a finger on the ground, like a finger.
Oh.
It was sliced off, severed finger. Because I'm like looking around, kicking shit, and then all of a sudden the finger comes out of nowhere. Like, oh shit, it's real. It was real. It was real. It looked like a chicken wing. You know the bone parts. Oh my God.
I mean, but personally, when you see things like that, does it ever gross you out?
Yeah. I mean, as a young kid, no, but like as an adult, yeah, it does creep me out now.
Okay, so, uh, so when your innocence, when your innocence died, what do you think really came about it after that?
I mean, for one thing, is like I definitely like it, like I'm never the same way as like thinking about things. So it's like you can't really I think you're a little bit more like a little bit more negative about things like it's like, oh, like nah, but I can't really do this, blah blah blah, and like it it because you understand like the, I can't really say it. Somebody else say something.
All right. So obviously, Cole's recalling the times when he's been touched.
That's what I was thinking of when
It came back.
the topic was brought up.
Oh, like no, I fortunately I never had any of those. So
What?
being molested,
Being molested.
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
What were you thinking? That's something else.
I was thinking about touching poop. I don't know what you were thinking.
Oh my god.
My God, you just brought up a whole can of worms. Shit. There's plenty of time for that story then. Like, not the molesting, but the times when innocence had been shook, killed, whatever. Um, it's from the idea that grew up with siblings who purposely like fuck with you, like as a kid. So it was just like a lot of like killing animals or just the thought of animal death. Uh, but it wasn't yeah wasn't necessarily uh, anyone's fault. One was my fault though. When I was a kid, like you don't realize how fragile animals are. So it's like when the bird gets out the cage, your first instinct is to try to put it back in the cage. So then when you're trying to catch it and grab for it, you kind of like as a kid you grab for it with all your might.
Oh my
And
god.
then yeah, so I'm like, I got the bird, and then it's died.
What kind of bird was it?
Turkey.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, so it was just like learning the idea that we killed animals to eat them. Proof was my grandma when she used to cook our cook chickens that she bought and like kind of farmed in the backyard. Yeah, and no one told me, but I personally was convinced that it was a color changing chicken. So
That is a what?
color changing chicken.
Oh.
Yeah, and then it's just like like not only that, it didn't even take like I watched my grandma take this chicken and like chop its head off, and I still thought it was the same chicken backyard. So um, I'm like, wow, it can feed us and it can change colors. But, so what else? Um, like getting when I got jumped by people who were like I was in elementary and I got jumped by like high schoolers.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the fuck are these high school kids doing picking on the elementary students?
Just fucking gangbangers or whatever. But I remember like when that happened, uh, like I was mountain biking with my friend. Uh, he went to high school with Jack and I, but I went mountain biking with him, and like I think at the end of the trip, we ended up in this like suburban neighborhood. Didn't look dangerous or whatever. It was just a gang of people. This is a gang of kids. Just suddenly walked up to my friend and started talking to him, and then we were just like, trying to push him around and stuff. And it's like, like I was watching it happen. I was like, you know what, guys, just fuck off. Like, it's not like why are you even bothering with us? This is dumb as shit. But obviously they were there to intimidate, to take whatever. They were trying to steal my friend's bike. My first instinct was to jump and grab my friend's bike so they to keep him from taking it. They were like beating the shit out of me. And then like I remember back of my head was bleeding and stuff. But
Wait, you guys were on a bike? Could you guys have gotten away, like rode your bike away?
no, because like we were walking our bikes. Like my bike was busted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bike was busted part of the way, and then the chain wouldn't go back on, and it wouldn't ride anymore. And I was like, fuck. So we had to walk all the way, the rest of the way. So, yeah. So then they tried to take my friend's bike, and then I was like, because as a kid, I was like, oh no, you fucking don't. And I just jumped over and grabbed the wheel to keep them from moving, and then they was like beating the shit out of me. And like during that time, I didn't even cry about it. But it's just like it's one of those things where it's just like the more you think about it, and the more you try to dwell on the fact that you could have done something better. Like that's the shit that hurts more. And then like at the end of it, then I started crying because I was just like, no one like I didn't even like no one even wanted to fucking help me. And then it was just like it gave like that harsh reality of like, well, that's the world we're in. And then there's times when and this personally makes me sad about it because like I fucking hate bullies like down to my core. But it personally made me sad to think that like there's a lot of different kids that getting pushed around in different ways, and it's just like almost to the point where it's just like, yo, that's way too far. It's like that's not even cool. So yeah, we live in that world, but it's just trying to maintain that naivety that like like I'd rather be the person that doesn't enforce or encourage that kind of shit, like at least to the best of my ability, because probably in some weird cosmic way I'm still doing it. I'm a part of the problem. But yeah. What about you, Jack?
All right.
When did you get touched?
I think the first time I think my innocence was gone was when I went to my first funeral of someone that I knew and talked to. There's a funeral for like my uh, my my auntie. When I talked to her, we bonded, and then the next day she was gone, and we were going to a funeral, and the realization that this person who you knew, who you talked to, who you thought was going to be there all the time, that when you're a kid, you realize like you think that everything's happy and then everyone's there and they're always going to be there, but then once you go to a funeral, you just realize, oh, that's it. There's no more. It's the end of her life, and then that's when you realize, oh, you only have a limited amount of time. And someone that you knew, that you had a good relationship with, could be gone the next day, just like that. So that's when I think sort of the naivety of life and the world kind of left, and like, oh, this is the real world, this is real life.
Uh, uh, it's kind of fucked up of me, but it's like when my grandfather passed, like not to say that I didn't feel anything. It's like I literally only knew the guy for like less than. I can only remember like 5 minutes of the guy, but also it's just, uh, probably interacted with him as a kid. I remember one time I remember one time, I don't even know why it sticks out in my mind. Like we went to visit him and there's like a little retirement thing that my dad had him in because it was kind of like a hospice care.
Mhm.
But I remember I saw him. I was really happy for some reason. I ran up to him and I jumped on his lap. He's like, "The fuck do you want?"
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, I think at that point you didn't have a good like relationship with him, so it didn't
I
make
mean, like,
a lot of an impact, right?
yeah, he personally did not leave a mark on me, but it's just like, it's my dad's dad. Obviously, there's a long history of who he was to my dad. But it's also just like, uh, yeah, like I saw his body during the viewing, and my family was telling me like, "Don't be scared, don't be scared," and I'm just like, "Cool, it's Grandpa." I mean, skinnier than I remember, you know, but that was it. Didn't necessarily leave too much of a mark on me, but it's just, I don't know. Maybe innocence was already dead at that time.
Yeah, I've been to a funeral before with my grandma, but I was like really young, like 4 years old, and I couldn't remember anything significant. I just all I knew remember from that time was that my dad and mom were sad. But my grandma, like I know from what my parents told me is that she treated me and everyone pretty well. But I couldn't like I was too young at that time to even know. So that didn't affect me as much because there's no relationship, but I think it affects you more if you had a relationship or something with that person and then they died. It's like that whole realization.
Yeah, no doubt. What about you, Cole? Anything of that degree?
No, not death wise. Uh, let's see. What's another one? Shoot, what's another one? There's another one. Let's see. Seeing
All
that
the innocence
finger.
left early.
Yeah. Um, shoot, probably when I was in high school. I think it was my first week in high school. My first week in high school, and I was walking to class, and all of a sudden you could see all these people running. But apparently, what was happening, people were getting jumped. Right, so I see all because I think these guys were like random guys who
Like a
weren't from the
gang
campus,
fight?
but it was like a gang fight. But like they like ran up to the campus and just started punching everybody on that they saw. It was crazy.
Oh, Walker's like crack it up.
It was crazy. And then for me,
Like
like it was my
I'm
like
trying to picture like
I
boom,
know.
boom,
It's,
boom,
you
boom,
know,
boom, boom. I don't know.
no, it's like that fucking episode of South Park with like Russell Crowe. He just wants to fucking fight everyone for like no fucking reason.
Wait, which one?
That South Park episode with Russell Crowe
Okay.
fighting around the world, and then that shit, that episode was so fucking funny to me. Just because he just like it's like literally a dude that just had like a chip on his shoulder, and it's just like he goes into the middle of like a basketball game full of black kids, and then he just starts going in and starts wailing on all of them. It's just so funny. I mean, like it, because it's just like, what the fuck is happening? But
yeah,
what kind of school did you go to, Cola?
it was a rough school, man. It's a rough school. And I was a small kid, not like a huge kid. And the first time I saw somebody get knocked out, And I was like, you know what? I'm not sure if I'm gonna last in high school.
You think like Cola grew up in, I don't know, like some war-torn country or something, but nope,
No, it's the USA, baby.
just the US.
It's
But
the USA.
can you imagine like kids living in some war-torn country
Oh, I mean, definitely their innocence
where they're
is
like
gone.
where there's like bombings every day and people getting shot up in the streets?
Do you think that there are like kids under the age of like 10 that are participating in the war?
Yeah, there's child soldiers.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
there's been child soldiers. They've
Crazy.
they've
Kids
drugged
like
them and trained them
kids
to
that get into like sex trafficking and all that stuff. They get them at a young age.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
definitely more innocence there.
honestly, that stuff only existed in my head in anime. Kind of
Yeah,
hoping that that wasn't true.
real shit. All that Jeffrey Epstein shit. No.
Damn. Well, I mean, like, but at the same time, I'd be curious to meet one myself, just to be like, you know, damn, how do you take down a dude?
I mean, they have guns and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Leave.
Uh, I did. I have one. I have another one about school in general. This actually made me hate teachers altogether. Is when I realized that some teachers can be racist, and there was one time where you know there was nothing particularly outstanding about me as a person, like average average-ish grades and everything. So there's not a lot about me stuck out. But like I signed my permission slip late, because I just had a thing for like not wanting to do homework. But I I signed my permission slip late to go on a field trip, and when I got it signed, got it, when I got it all signed and everything, and I brought it to my teacher. My teacher told my parents, "Can we not have Tommy go, or can we not have Walker go?"
Forgot your name
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I know. Gonna have to edit that out. Uh, but it was just like, yeah, can we not have him go? And she didn't give any good explanation or anything. She just said she didn't want me going.
Was it because was it a racist thing or was it because you didn't complete your homework?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, but it's like I did enough to like kind of get by, but it's like they deliberately choosing certain people out of the group. So it's just
That'd be a bummer if you were like everyone went to some field trip and you didn't go. I'd feel so bummed out as a kid.
yeah, but it was just like it was just one of those things where you know teachers didn't teachers also at the time did not make life easy. I even had a kindergarten teacher who I think I was the only ethnic kid in the class. So yeah, and she's like a teacher from like molasses days. So it was just like yeah, there was some serious disdain there.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just like we're all just kids, man. Like don't know. But just getting the feeling of being singled out a lot is not exactly a feeling to inspire in a younger generation either.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else you guys got?
Yeah, I mean, I think if they made school better by reducing homework, that made you better at school. It just like not give you a lot of homework. Like, Walker, no more homework. Walker, you're on mute.
Hell yeah, I do way better.
They
It's-
probably like have to extend the hours and then just have like a homework time, and you have to do it at school or something like that.
Well, yeah, they should be teaching you the material and how to do it there. Like, why the
Yeah.
fuck do I have to take it home? You're telling me to do it in my personal time. I don't want to I don't like your shit in my personal time. I don't even like it when I'm there.
Yeah. And for like homework though, it depends, because some people can get it done fast, some people can get it done like it'll take hours to do.
So, what type of okay? So, what type of homework doer were you guys then?
Yeah, I was given like there's sometimes where I didn't do any homework because some of the schools they assign you like chapter 5 problems, and then chapter 5 problems were like 100 equations that you had to solve. And I'm like, no way, I'm not gonna solve 100 equations. So I maybe solved 1 or 2, and I was okay with that.
Yeah, I personally never liked the idea of making you read the night before so you can answer the questions the next day. It's just like, well, how much are you actually going to use? Alright, so that guys, you gotta do it, you gotta do it.